hell?
We gotta have them.
I'll be in the background laughing. Yeah.
Singing in the background.
I mean, you cool with being on the
Yeah, I'm cool. Oh yeah. I'm cool.
Hey, that nigga douche gonna come in like, ooh wee.
Yeah, with the Charlie Wilson.
We've been recording, ain't we?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I've been recording.
Oh yeah, you know what? We can start right there. We can start exactly when. Yeah, I know. We good. Let's go.
leave the people guessing what we're talking about.
Exactly.
It's called a tease, ladies and gentlemen. Professional radio personalities.
We're good at what we do.
Right. We get 150 retweets. We'll release that audio. Tim gonna try to hide the post and shit. Leak the tweet.
Bruh.
Like, nah.
You gotta get the peanut tech file. They feed
No
that
shares on this one.
That ain't my idea, boss.
Not retweeting this week.
Nope. Y'all sharing what? I'm good.
Hey, that is perfect though. Let's start the show right here. Okay. Welcome to episode 163 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy TIMKINZV number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. How y'all doing this week? Hey, y'all see this shit.
That's that shit I was talking about.
Hey,
I am the Eric J.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
and it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman.
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that.
All right, so I got some fun and great news for you guys. I got a new place for y'all to go.
Fan with a crowd.
All right, so you can follow us on over to YouTube so that you can see this face, that face, that face, that face, and that face down there too. Every week. Technical File Podcast. Also, we have a Facebook page, Technical File Podcast. Oh, shit. That's going to be rough, bro. But we're still there. You can go on over to our Technical File Pod Overtime group, which is our Facebook group where you can join there with listeners, fans, and fam. Also, you're on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, at Technical File. Don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker, TECK.
Damn right. Like I say every week, man, if you guys enjoy being a part of this amazing
Hey, this dude Tim is tripping right now.
I was like, what is going on?
He's tripping in real time. Like this. Now we gotta put this whole thing on YouTube. Because
Yeah, now they can see it now.
Finesse that motherfucker, dog.
You tripping. Anyway.
And with a crowd, like he knew we was recording, like he had
He took off.
Truth be told, this is me without your crowd. Because I be chilling and then I be taking my shit. And y'all be laughing at me when I be on here and shit like that. Now they can see what y'all be laughing at because y'all be having these random ass laughs.
Yeah.
So tell the truth.
That's fair.
Tell the truth, Shane.
You got a ring light?
Nah, I ain't got no ring light. It's just a light.
Oh, okay.
In a ring formation.
Okay.
This nigga here, dog.
Anyways.
like I'm just gonna be doing like Jim looks at the crowd. This nigga.
Now they can really see.
Man.
Right.
Ken.
Sorry.
Like I say every week, man, if you guys enjoy being a part of this amazing Tech File fam. Share with everybody you know, man. Your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your granny, everybody, man. Share with everybody. We don't grow without y'all. So if you guys enjoy, we don't grow. So let's make this grow. Let's do this thing.
For sure.
I'm confused. Do you want it to grow?
I do.
I do grow. I want it to grow more.
Grow some up. Hey, grow some. That was my shit, though. Throw some up.
I did love that song.
That was my shit.
We played that at my wedding on the bus to the reception.
Bust
Anywho.
Sorry.
Tech File challenge this week, sir?
I don't know. I don't have one. Eric, do you have one? You normally have a backup.
Sorry, bro. You on your own.
I I can't tell you.
Hey, we can just keep. I mean, if you ain't got one this week, so I'm
Yeah,
not gonna pressure you.
yeah. Holla at me next week. We out here.
For sure.
I have something for y'all motherfuckers to do.
So pull up.
Wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher.
Yes, sir.
SoundCloud.
Yes, it is.
Spotify.
Spotify.
iHeartRadio.
I got to see the poo now.
Like a player.
Yeah.
Wooshka.
Wooshka.
What was that?
5 seconds later and shit.
Right. Wooshka. Oh, shit.
He tried to unmute himself quick to get that wooshka off.
And wherever you are listening to this episode right now, while there, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, review. 5 stars are better. That helps us, and we appreciate it.
For sure, for sure. Before we shout out the top listening cities of the week, make sure y'all check out this week's episode of Nerd World Order Podcast, the T and Tech File. Tim, he was a guest on this week's episode, so make sure y'all check that out. Enjoy it.
Appreciate
somebody
y'all.
else was on the podcast this week too, I believe.
Was that in the last? That was.
You was there last week too.
Yeah, I was on Locked On Bucks last week, so check that out too.
Bite to bite. Look at you.
Out here.
Big time.
Check our bio for booking information.
No, for real, our booking info is on the website. Go ahead and get it.
www.technicalfile.com. Don't forget to put the K on that month.
You're dang right. Okay. Top
technicalfile@gmail.com.
Right. We available. I mean, we got to know where to go. Top listening cities of the past week. Shout out to these cities. Number 1, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to the hometown.
Yes.
Number 2, I might mispronounce this. I don't know exactly where in Utah y'all are, but Orem, Utah.
That sound about right.
Was at number 2. So
y'all jumped to number 2, but y'all jumped up a lot of
jumped to number 2. At number 3, we had Atlanta, Georgia.
8 times down.
Number 4, we had Chandler, Arizona.
Okay, what's up, Chandler? AZ.
Number 5, we had Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, what up, dude?
The town Camille hated on during the draft lottery.
Hey, I'm glad y'all didn't get the number 1 draft pick. Number 6, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
Minnow, what up, though?
I like that. Number 7, Germantown, Wisconsin.
The neighbor.
Right. Y'all right down. Y'all damn near the same thing. What's up? What's good? Is y'all walking like from Germantown to Menominee? That's what happened.
Pretty much. Number 8, Dundee, Illinois.
Okay. Illinois, the love.
Number 9, we got Miami, Florida.
Okay. Miami. Number 10, we have Madison, Wisconsin. So shout out to the home state for tuning in for the for the top 10. International listeners included the United Kingdom, Belgium.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Okay, what you got for Belgium?
So that's all I got.
They eat waffles.
We got Spain.
Hola.
Okay. We got Germany.
Guten Tag. Look at that.
Guten.
Hey, no, he's international. Let's go.
Yeah, this is your part. They got the city shout outs.
I guess only 2 of these.
You international. Let's go. You got it.
And last but not least, we have Greece.
What up, Giannis?
What up, yeah?
Actually, no, it's shit. What's his name? Fuck, I forgot what his brother's rap name is.
Oh, is it? It was like
Ophelia or something.
Ophelia, I believe it was.
Although no, he's in Nigeria.
But the song was Shikosi, so I ain't gonna forget that.
Shikosi.
Hey, that was I like that though.
How many times she gonna Kosi, fam?
I like.
That was a good WTECK radio song.
That was hilarious.
That was funny. But let's get into the topics of the week, shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
So one thing that I love about our podcast is that, one, it's ours, and we're able to talk about what we want when we want to, if we want to talk about it. But also the fact that I feel like the sport market, like the just media, is missing a lot of Black voices, especially of a certain age. And I feel like we fill in a big gap with that. So we'd be remiss to not start off the show discussing Jacob Blake and what happened with that, and also how that relates to the sports world. So I'm going to give y'all some information in case you haven't heard about this story. So there were police officers at the scene in Kenosha, Wisconsin, in response to a domestic incident. They were then captured on video firing at least 7 shots into the back of Jacob Blake, a Black dude, as he was trying to get into his vehicle. Now, in addition to that, 3 of his children were in the back seat, so they witnessed this happen in real time. Fortunately, he did not succumb to his injuries. He is currently at Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee. He's listed in a stable but serious condition. So he is alive, which is good news in that situation, because my opinion, that ain't what the cops intended. So I'm glad that he's here. He's going to be able to actually tell his story. But he does have some injuries from those gunshots, as you would imagine, being shot 7 times in your back like that. The family lawyer, Ben Crump, he put out a quote earlier today. We're recording on Tuesday, August 25th. Quote, his family believes in miracles, but the medical diagnosis right now is that he is paralyzed, and because those bullets severed his spinal cord and shattered some of his vertebrae, it is going to take a miracle for Jacob Blake Jr. to ever walk again.
That's trash.
Yep. He also had holes in his stomach, an arm injury, and damage to his kidney and liver. Most of his colon and small intestine had to be removed. For being Black. That is why he has those injuries, because he was a Black man in that situation. Like,
that's trash.
It's unbelievable. First, I do want to say, just as a Black woman and who has a lot of Black men in her life. I mean, I'm looking at 3 beautiful Black men right now. 4. Well, Dooch on the phone. He kind of ducked off right now, so I can't really see him. But
Man, I can see his arm.
Dooch, you a beautiful Black man too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forget you.
Hey, Dooch, what?
Thank you.
But no, seriously, I just wanted to check in with y'all and just see how y'all are doing. If there's anything that y'all want to say before we get into any sport-related topics about it. I just want to give y'all the air and just also just let you know that I support y'all. Like, I love y'all. And not just the Black men I'm looking at, but if you are a Black man listening to this, I love you. I support you. I appreciate you. And as a Black woman, I will always have your back. I promise I will.
And that's yours. For sure.
But is there anything that y'all want to say? If not, that is okay. There's no pressure to speak if you don't want to.
Every time one of these situations happen, like, there's always a rush to explain what the situation was and why the cop might have acted in this manner, or, you know, like, this person had committed whatever crimes either in the past or at the moment. Like, the police are not employed to be executioners, so nothing that these people are doing short of, like, brandishing a weapon is justification for shooting to kill. Like, resisting arrest isn't a death sentence. So, like, you can't justify shooting that man 7 times in rapid succession, like, as there's no justification for it. Like, there's no situation that I'm aware of that would warrant that type of action, especially 7 shots in the back. Like, what are we doing here? So, like, I don't want to hear nothing about, like, well, you know, like, he could have done X, Y, and Z, like, but he didn't. Like, the situation is as clear as it can be. Like, 7 shots to the back is 7 shots to the back. Like, well, he gonna, like, reach for some type of weapon, bend between his legs, and you know, like, his back is to you. He's walking away from you. Like, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't have been resisting arrest. He shouldn't have been ducking into his car. He shouldn't have been at the scene of the crime. Like, none of that shit flies with me. So, I don't know. Like, it pisses me off every time, because, like, sleeping, like, Breonna Taylor wasn't doing anything. She was sleeping in her bed and they shot her. You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't matter like that.
There's videos of us with guys with laying on the ground with his hands up, still getting shot. Ask why he do it. He said, I don't know. I don't even know. There's video. You can YouTube it, Google it, do whatever you have to. I just think it's wild that if it got to the point where you think you had to pull your gun out. Okay, so it's already escalated to that point. Your partner got a taser, you got a gun. And he's calmly walking away right in front of you, like within arm's length, because you grabbed onto him in order to shoot him in the first place. Why, at no point in time before that, leading up to this trip that y'all took around the car together, you didn't grab him? Didn't detain him, didn't jump on him, didn't do nothing. The very first bit of action.
They kill us still too. Like put a fucking knee on your neck. Like
they didn't do anything but shoot, is my point. You walked calmly with him as he calmly walked to his car. Stride for stride, within arm's reach. And the only time you acted was when after he calmly opened the door that you're still standing next to, was when he finally bent over in the car and you let go. No point in time in this whole trek from the passenger side to the driver's side did you not think to detain him, or maybe he shouldn't have been, or you couldn't detain him because you can't detain somebody without justifiable cause. So maybe that's the issue. But whatever it was, there should have been some kind of action. I'm sure there are steps that could have been taken before you got to the point to where you're point blank shooting them in the back. There's a lot of things that probably could have taken place. And I don't give me that shit where they talking about, oh, well, a taser can't be deployed within 30 feet. These hands can. He was right there. Him and his partner were right there. They were on his shoulder the whole time.
Grabbed his shirt.
They were that close the entire time. So there's no justification where you could say he could have done anything but at least try to tackle him. At least. It's you and your boy. At least try. If it was on video that you tried to detain him while he on the ground and y'all wrestling and things like that, it still doesn't give you justification to shoot him. You tried something else. You tried a less escalated situation. It don't even look like they tried to de-escalate it. But you can't take that from a 15-second clip. There was nothing else you could have done in that instance whatsoever before it got to the point to shoot. Just anything. Not one thing. Because it's all fear. If you get into a job where you're scared to do your damn job, get out of it.
Facts. That's a fact. That is a fact. Ken, did you have anything that you wanted to say? I know you look like you're dealing with the baby girl right now, so. No, all right. But yeah, the situation is messed up. There's no real other way to put it. At some point, you get tired of having to have these conversations. You get tired of it, like.
Tired of feeling this way?
I mean, I tried not to watch the video. Somebody posted it without any comment as to what it was. I ended up seeing it accidentally anyways. It just, it don't sit right. It feels like losing somebody you know every time. Every single time. Try to segue that into sports. We're not the only ones feeling that way. A lot of these leagues are made up of Black people who feel some type of way about everything that's going on here. Since this happened in Wisconsin, I wanted to just point out what the local teams did. They all three responded: the Packers, the Bucks, and the Brewers. So, fellas, if y'all have any comments as I'm going through it, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of roll through. So the Packers, they actually had a leadership council meeting after Monday's practice to discuss the shooting, which actually caused Coach LaFleur to be like 40 minutes late to his daily news conference. And when he got there, he talked for a little bit about it. And he was saying how he was proud of the guys for, you know, having the courage to speak up and to have that moment. But one part that I want to read out that he said is how he actually started the press conference. And he said, quote, You know, it's amazing to me that this is still happening. So wanted to get our guys' perspective and try to float around some ideas on how we can make a difference and use our platform, because things have to change. The social injustice, the police brutality, the antiquated laws just got to bring awareness to everybody that Black Lives Matter. We can't stand for this any longer. Aaron Rodgers also spoke on it. He said there's a systematic problem, and until the problem is fixed, this is going to be an all too common sighting in this country. He went on to speak for like 2 minutes about it. Some interesting thoughts, but that first sentence sums up his overall point. The Packers issued a statement on it. Adrian Amos, he tweeted, the penalty of disobedience shouldn't be death, which absolutely. With the Bucks, Coach Bud, before he started when he started his press conference, he just began saying that he would like to send out thoughts and prayers to Jacob Blake and his family, another young Black man shot by a police officer. We need to have change. We need to be better. And I'm hoping for the best for him and his family. I'm hoping for the best as we work through this in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, and in Kenosha. So thoughts and prayers with Jacob Blake.
For sure.
The Bucks also issued a statement. One thing in their statement that really caught my eye was that they ended the statement by saying, quote, we will work to enact policy change so these incidents no longer exist, end quote. And that was powerful to me because we've talked about this on this show in regards to the fact that it's really cool to see the hashtags and the posts, but we need to see some type of action behind all of that. And these corporations have the money and they have the political pull to get things done if they wanted to get it done. So to see the Bucks come out and say, we're going to be working to enact policy change, I really hope they are for real about that, because that would be amazing to see.
And that's especially important coming from Bucks ownership, given that they are comprised of a lot of major donors to the Democratic Party. Like, these are people with direct lines to Joe Biden, to Kamala Harris, to the Clintons and Obamas. You know what I mean? Like, they enlisted Bill Clinton as part of a free agency pitch. Like, they have these people's ears. So I want to see them put their money where their mouths are and like actually like make this a strong part of their campaign and about this election. Like, I don't know. Like, I just think that more can be done. Like, these are sports owners are some of the richest and most powerful people in this country. And these athletes have direct lines to them. So it's about putting pressure. Like, their platforms are great. And it's great to raise awareness within like the general population, but you have a direct line to 32 or 30, or I don't know how many MLB teams there are, but you have direct lines to these very influential people who actually have the ability to affect major change on a major level, which is where this needs to happen. Like, you can affect hearts and minds all you want, but if you don't have policy behind it, like, you know, we're gonna keep coming back to this point. So I don't know what the answers are. Like, I don't know what we need to ask for beyond, you know, stop killing us, but that's where the change can happen. That's where athletes can really make their voices heard. Like, hashtags and slogans and shit on the back of your jerseys are all well and good, but, you know, put the pressure on the people that actually have, you know, their hands on the mechanisms to implement this stuff.
George Hill had some really pointed comments after the Bucks Game 4 win. I won't read his entire statement. I would like for y'all to actually go look at the clip of it, because seeing him, the way that he's working through that in real time, it's just powerful. That's really the only word I can use for that. But I'm just going to read one particular part from that. Well, actually a lot. I'm gonna read a little bit because George got off. I'm gonna have to read a little bit. But in regards to the shooting, he said, quote, it's sickening, it's heartless, it's an effed up situation. He didn't say effed up, I'm editing myself. As I said, you're supposed to look at the police to protect and serve. Now it's looked at harass or shoot, to almost take a guy's life. Thank God he's still alive. I know the cops are probably upset that he's still alive because I know they surely tried to kill him. But to almost take a guy's life, especially in front of one's kids that wasn't resisting and his back at point blank range in a heartless and gutless situation, we need some justice for that. someone followed that up by asking him, like, what can, players do to help? And he said, we can't do anything. First of all, we shouldn't have even come to this damn place, to be honest. Coming here just took all of the focal points off of what the issues are. But we're here, so it is what it is. He then goes on to talk thereafter. He's been on news hits a lot today in regards to that, and he just clarified, like, I mean, we're here. I'm saying, like, I mean, we're here, but what I'm also saying is that half of me ain't really here. Right. The other half of me is still back outside thinking about everything else that's really going on. And at the end of the day, basketball is not even really that important. But since we're here, like, we're here. But what I just said, to go back to Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors, he wondered if a boycott of games was necessary. Quote, what are we willing to give up? Do we actually give a, about what's going on? Or is it just cool to wear BLM on the backdrop or to wear a t-shirt? What does it really mean? Is it really doing anything? I don't have the answers for you today. End quote. And that kind of goes in line with what you were mentioning earlier, Eric. Like, that stuff is cool, but where's the next step to go from that? There's been a lot of discussion around that quote of what him saying about boycotting. So yeah,
it'd be interesting if they actually did.
Eric's trying to find his words for the audio listeners.
No,
he's trying to work himself through it.
I hate that they feel like it's their responsibility to do something. Like, I know what I just said about, like, them talking to the people that can change. And it's like, if you feel like you want to do something, I think that's where you can direct your energy. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's not the responsibility of the oppressed to end their oppression. You know what I mean? Like, so this isn't for Black people to lead the charge on. This isn't for Black people to have the burden of solving. Like, this is an issue. Like, it's a systemic issue. It's a government issue. Like, it's a human decency issue, to be quite honest. But, like, it shouldn't be something that that reporters are going to athletes about. Like, okay, how do we fix this? What are you going to do? What are, like, what steps are you going to take? Like, these are, like, 20 to 35-year-old men. Like, they don't have the answers. Like, they're not, like, the burden shouldn't fall on them, and they shouldn't feel guilty that they went to the bubble to do their jobs while all this stuff is going on. Like, I feel like that's been a strong sentiment that I've picked up from, like, the comments that have come out today. Is like, these guys feel like they may have made a mistake by going down there to do their jobs while all this shit is going on. It's like, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, if you want to boycott and not play, like, you have my 100% support. But at the same time, like, you shouldn't feel bad like you abandon everybody by going down there to play. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I just
they shouldn't be put in that position.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or at least if they are, then they should be working behind the scenes, like some management, because they should have a team or something like that set up behind the scenes, kind of still putting feet to the ground and kind of running some things, or helping organizations or support systems, and, like, at least, like, talk to the players, like, hey, I know you can't do it, but hey, we got these people here to kind of go through. Hey, you want to support this organization, or you want to go to this march or something like that. Like, we'll try to help you in essence. I think that would be a good idea for teams to do, but I don't know if that's something that they're already doing or not, but it doesn't seem like they would have the resources to be able to do so.
I mean, this story, this news, I should say, is just so wide. Like, it's hitting everyone. It's hitting everyone. LeBron made comments about it. There were NFL players making comments about it. Like, everybody, like, how could you not? That's the real question. How could you not? So, just want to send love to Jacob Blake and his family. The children, especially the children, just everyone who was affected with that. And if you're listening and you've been struggling through this as well, I just want to say that, I love you too. Just, it's a tough time, and we continue to go through these tough times, but we're at a position right now where I think we can really start sparking some change if things go the right way, if we can really enact some policy change, if we can get out and vote, if we can it's a start. It ain't gonna be quick, but it'll be a start, and we got to start somewhere because we can't keep doing it the exact same way we have been. I'll tell you that. It feels weird to go into like actual sports stuff after, having that moment. This is when I wish we had like commercial breaks. This would be a good place for a commercial break. You want to do the radio this early?
Let's go to the radio.
You know what? Let's go to the radio. There we go. Let's go to the radio.
Pick the spirits back up.
Yeah, man. Ken, would you tell the people what the radio segment is in case they are new here and they don't know what that is?
This is a part of the show where we play a song that is sport adjacent, written, produced, performed by someone in the sports room. Timmer's our DJ. DJ, give it to me.
Give it to me.
This is our backstage production.
Yes, Amy.
There you go. I was like, who Amy?
Yeah.
My fault.
Like, Mom, you're so.
This week's song, no. So as Ken mentioned, we're in our backstage production meeting where I tell the fellas what song we're going to be playing this week. This week we are doing Kobe Bryant featuring Tyra Banks. Kobe.
Oh God.
You know why? Because it's Mamba week.
Hey.
So we gonna highlight Kobe in all ways.
Feel like I heard this before.
I'm sure you have, and it's going to be as bad as you remember.
Hold on, man.
I used to love Tyra Banks, but she. Nah,
yeah, because she ain't a good singer.
Nah.
Let's just say it was neither of their ministries. Let's just put it that way. But,
Amen.
It was
Amen.
nice, it was fun hobby, I guess.
It sound like
they're great at their day jobs.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound like
legendary, even.
Ain't no hate, man. This all real. You know. Take Foul gonna
hear these bars, man.
Hey, Take Foul ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Wait, is this the song where he started rapping like Italian or something?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
What's the name of this motherfucker?
Kobe.
Kobe.
It's called Kobe.
It's called Kobe.
Yeah. What else would it be called? Man, come on.
Kobe Bryant featuring Tyra Banks. Kobe.
KOBE, man.
We out here, B.
So do you want the music to start playing as you speak, or do you want to cue Duke?
It has an intro if you
Somebody yapping on it, or it's just music?
No, it's just music in the beginning.
Okay, you can play the music.
All right.
Your engineer gonna have you sounding right. He hooked you up last week too.
He did. I can hear it through my headphones and everything. I was like, oh, we in here this week. I'm good. It's been the struggle. I've been trying to catch on to. So that's why a lot of times I say beforehand, because I'm like, I don't know if there was a lag or not, but if it is, I can't catch it. But because I could hear it through my headphones last week, I was able to get my DJ on.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Are you excited to get your DJ on this week?
Headphones.
Ken, would you count us down? Turn into Missy Elliott. Ricky. All right. Count us down, Ken, to go live on air, please.
5, 4, 3, 2.
WTECK Radio 69.9 with 69 is fine.
Again.
We got Kobe featuring Tyra Banks.
Lawless.
Kobe.
Come on. Right. Yo. It's like this. What I live for? Basketball, beats and brawls from Italy to the
Beats and brawls?
Come on, man. Stop hating. Hear these bars, man.
Hey, bro, you got
like for grandma. My dumb flaws. Have I found the ore? Should I search still? There's plenty of women with second pill when it's spilled. Can you complete the package? All I date is actresses. The play is safe. The help, my money ain't bait, but I must take risk. Whether she push a bucket or 6 buckets of mad chips, I want her own. Mom and pop's home. Rock stop fast.
Eric, stop dancing to this shit.
Timbo. Yo, this women come and go.
He's nodding his head about hard.
Come on, man.
When God talks to me,
bar.
signal, but until then,
If it was a different beat, it'd have been cold.
Yeah, this beat garbage.
Well, so wait, it's the beat, not Kobe?
The beat's the best part of this song so far.
It's the beat, not Kobe.
Hitting them with them bars. Man. He said he
Beats
don't
and
care if he in a
brawls.
6 bucket. Man.
Hey, There's no bars where they hear beat.
He only date-
He put the bars on the wrong song, dog.
This nigga Eric over here saucing.
He put the bars on the
Victor Cruz on it.
He did shit. Talking about some is the beat. I ain't
You
never
gotta
heard
think-
nobody blame the damn beat for the bars.
It is. You gotta think this is the era when this was.
Wait, hold
this
on. Let him get his bars off. Let's give him a fair shot.
Tight with your ex-man pushes jag. Type that love no scrubs. Her pigeons ain't got mad. But they can't stand a woman with a.
But Ken had to walk off. He couldn't even do it. He couldn't even do it.
My hand from the slap. No time for y'all. Too busy for y'all. Plenty of times turn me on. Then turn me off. Try to show off. Get lost. Grow up.
Dang.
Real women, roll up. Let yourself go. If you feel
What
this,
the
let me
fuck was
know.
that?
Come on.
You heard him. You heard him say roll up. Come on, man.
Eric's been enjoying this a little too much.
Eric been kicking it.
He been jigging the whole. He been dancing like you normally be dancing.
Come on now. Oh,
Is
and
that
they got
supposed to be
the
Tyra
lyrics too. Come on, man. I'm about to
Okay, break it down for us, dude.
I go off after that. Or the hood.
Right.
It sounds like some 98 track star, track master.
The hunter becomes the hunted. Girl, I'm praying on you. Beautiful.
Praying on you.
Dark Child and shit.
That's telling so for us it's suitable. Uncontrollable. Desire flows through me. When you're
Randomly
Like this
throwing
shit,
the
Method
violin.
Man and Red Man with the rap off of.
games I play. What a shame. Can't get with ya. Make the door hit ya with a Lord's picture. I figure. I
Oh,
always
that's
figure to
sound.
be dangerous. Cause if your time runs
Yeah,
out.
you gotta think this is 90. What was it, 98? 97.
Let's see.
He was drafted in 96, so.
So he still spitting these bars?
Yes, bro.
Let me know. Let the blood flow from the bottom of your soul. Come on.
Oh, we ain't talking about Tyra.
Right, I'm like, is this Tyra?
Nah, she was trash.
Yeah, she.
Oh shit, she got her own verse too.
Nah, she just did the hook. Okay.
Oh, this her right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be the end of the song, ain't it? Like,
Yeah, they just
Probably.
so.
I hope so.
Yeah, the hook go until it go out.
okay, we don't need to hear Tyra doing that no more.
And it's Kobe with the fro, man. Come on, man.
Kobe
Bar.
with the fro was different.
Bar.
Eric's
Some
still
other
humming
shit.
the beat. This is too much.
It's catchy. I don't care what y'all say.
It is catchy. It's like
Eric
bubblegum pop
knows
catchy.
to hear him. He knows bars.
Eric
No,
was feeling that the whole way.
Eric know bars when he hear him.
You know what I'm saying?
He know these bars.
It's a bop, as the kids would say.
Kids would say.
So the NFL put some teams on hold while they had to look into some COVID-19 results that all came back from a New Jersey lab. There were a series of positive COVID tests, and all the results were traced back to that one very lab, which made people question how efficient are these tests exactly.
Mhm.
So the NFL ended up clearing all the individuals who were tested positive. Let me just say that was 77 players across 11 teams. So this was a widespread, mess up.
Yeah.
But when you're testing this many people, apparently at this rate and this method, you're
Mhm.
bound to get false positives at some point when most of the players are asymptomatic to begin with.
Mm.
I don't say that as somebody who just knew that. I say that as somebody who read an article and that's what a doctor said. Just want to throw that out there. Don't think I'm making stuff up. A doctor said it. So hopefully they can clean that up some more, or hopefully that saliva test that the NBA was working on with Yale becomes readily available.
Not interested in that. Well, maybe they haven't reported it, but the NBA and all their testing that they've been doing for 2 months now, they've had 0 false positives.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it's come out. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
It's just
What that means, but it's just an interesting development as far as I'm concerned.
They've been doing it right so far. No, so the NBA has been doing everything right so far.
Yeah, the bubble's proven.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying though. The fact that they haven't had a single false positive, I don't know, maybe
That's kind of
you
what
would
I'm
think, statistically speaking, they should have at this.
I think
point.
they've had a couple of inconclusive tests.
Okay,
but-
and then they just come back and test them later.
They even had a
Yeah.
false positive on Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah, that's right. That
So
was
I'm
right.
kind of but
I
they're
better watch
using the
that
same
thing.
people that the NBA is using. So I'm kind of like, do we trust that the NFL will be 110% all the time?
No, but what we gonna trust the NFL to find different people to plug in to play regardless? The
They're
game
gonna have high school JV players if it comes down to it.
Hey, he was number 1 in the state last year. What the fuck?
They're gonna be calling Tim.
All right.
We saw you race. We saw you run without barefoot. We want to see you in some cleats, son.
I got video footage of that too. Floating on motherfuckers.
That's
Aren't
what
you
Tim does
racing
in his spare time?
Aren't you racing a member of Nerd World Order?
Yeah, Jake was talking about he wanted next. So I was like, fuck it. Let's go. So I'm with it.
So do you know if he is he quick? Do you know? Do you have any intel on your opponent?
Don't care.
Oh! Hey, big chest. I see.
Walk up on the track like this. Shit. Mind set go on this motherfucker.
I see why you're both.
Hey, I swear I gotta watch the YouTube if y'all not watching it already. This dude. Okay. The NFL draft lottery took place since we last talked. The lottery results go as follows. Minnesota, that number 1 draft pick.
They get cold in Minnesota.
The Golden State Warriors had 2, and so on and so forth with the numbers. You understand which way I'm going now. Charlotte, Chicago, Cleveland, Atlanta, Detroit, New York Knicks. I'm gonna call it out. They got the 8th draft pick. Just nothing goes right for New York.
Ever.
Then you had Washington, Phoenix, San Antonio, Sacramento, New Orleans, and Boston, who is taking Memphis pick.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have any thoughts on the way it shook out?
We had a live reaction video that was posted to our Facebook.
On Eric's birthday.
Okay.
And you had a happy birthday because the Bucks won.
Yeah, they did.
That was game 2. Yeah. It wasn't pretty, but they won.
Hey, they won. I was like, hey, they got a dub on Derek J birthday. That's all he wanted.
I did not cry.
Don't make him cry.
Don't make him cry.
I thought it was I think it's gonna be interesting what Minnesota does with the first pick, because whatever little quarter they're gonna form over there, hopefully this pick kind of helps them get on the right path, because I feel like Minnesota could have a good fun team depending on who they get. Like, I wouldn't mind LaMelo being over there, and it'd be him and D'Angelo.
Don't do my boy like
I would,
that.
but I mean, it would be a fun backcourt to me. It wouldn't be no defense
at all.
But it'd be a fun backcourt on offense. It'd be.
I'm saying offensively, it would be wild.
It would be wild,
yeah.
Especially the way especially the way LaMelo passes. He would probably
and D'Lo can play off ball.
But does he want to?
He's done it. It ain't like
does he want to? He the star.
Like he came to Minnesota for Cat, so like they ain't getting rid of. Well, yeah, they're not getting rid of him. And like to make Cat happy, you got to keep D'Lo happy. So if he doesn't want to play off the ball, like, are you creating a problem there?
That would be wild, bro. Like, if you're looking at it from a winning standpoint, offensively, you guys would be dope.
It would be pretty. It would be fun to watch offensively.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'd be very interested in watching it.
Yeah,
I feel like that kind of just recreates the dynamic that they had with Wiggins and Levine and Cat. Like, that wasn't successful.
But they're pairing guards now. Like, you see backcourts getting their shit off and having successful teams with them. And you put in a big man like Cat, you could have a formula for some good success if you look at it that way. Or you can grab Edwards, because I think he's more of a 2-guard anyways. You still have the same effect. He's a little stronger than LaMelo.
Ain't no star power, though. You ain't get the star power.
You don't have the name, but you keep D'Lo the star. You still have a number 1 pick. He could be arguably a number 1 pick.
Man, I
he
saw
have
a
offensive
video.
Power, create his own shot.
I saw a video of LaMelo Ball. He was signing an autograph when he was in the 8th grade, fam.
Yes, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Hey, that kid was smart, though. I hope
he held on to it.
Yeah.
8th grade? You giving out autographs?
In the bleachers out here, B.
Waiting for your game to start.
The kids in the front turned around and looked at him like, the fuck? Autograph.
Let me ask y'all this, because me and Eric were talking about this on the Draft Lottery Facebook video. What do y'all think that Golden State will do with the second round, with the second pick?
I think they'll keep it. and then they'll groom it for half the season, and then they'll trade at the trade deadline and pick up somebody nice, and they'll probably package it with. Wait, when do they got to get rid of that exception? By the trade deadline, right? Or a year from when they got it.
Which will be pushed back just because of the pandemic. But that was part of the Iguodala trade, so that was before July 1st. So I would imagine they have to use it before the end of this league year, which means between the draft and the and free agency.
So a time when they could pull up.
I would imagine, like, we're kind of in unprecedented territory here, but I'm imagining that everything is kind of frozen from pre-pandemic.
I would imagine that they hold on to the number 2 pick, though, especially knowing that their top 2-3 stars are aging and injured, and wouldn't mind kind of grooming someone else to kind of step in as well.
I would disagree. Like, I think that that's the reason why they traded. Like, they want immediate help. Like, their window is closing with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Like, especially with Clay coming off an injury. Steph's already, 32?
32.
Draymond's either 30 or approaching 30. Like, their time to win is now. And those 3 aren't going to want to wait for, like, they don't want development. Like, they want something. They want immediate help. So even if, like, a return isn't as high, like, they'll find the best vet to bring in with that number 1 pick is my imagination. I just don't know, like, what's out there, and especially with the financial situation being up in the air with the pandemic, like, I don't know what motivation certain teams will have for keeping players versus getting rid of them. So we'll see is essentially what it comes down to, but I don't think that their incentive will be to find a development piece. Like, if there was, like, a more NBA ready high draft prospect, like, I think that would be the route that they go. But the people in that range, like, nobody really fits a need for them that also will be ready to contribute on a playoff team / title contender.
What about Weissman?
He's raw. Like,
he's not all the way
I think that he can kind of do what they need centers to do. But at the same time, like, I don't know if you want to use that asset on, like, a rim runner, like, that can't, like, quarterback a defense also. You know what I mean?
Just to let the people know, Clay and Draymond are both also 30 years old.
Okay.
So.
And again, Clay's coming off a torn ACL. So.
As Eric mentioned, well, or at least hinted towards, the NBA is reportedly discussing delaying the October draft and the start of free agency. Adam Silver said prior to the draft lottery that starting the season on December 1st was feeling just a little bit early.
Who could have saw that go?
You know what? It's kind of tight.
The season ends on October 16th, and the next season starts on December 1st. Maybe not enough time.
Yeah. Need to, stretch out a little bit. He also added that the league's number 1 goal is to get fans back into the arenas. So also moving the start date later gives you a better chance because you're buying more time to see if things change to get people in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck. This is all revolving around, the salary cap is quite uncertain. So they're still working things out. The NBA is also moving toward a virtual draft combine. That's going to be held at regional sites in September. So that's part of the draft prep that they'll be doing. Also, sources confirm that the NBA has canceled hotel contracts in Indianapolis for All-Star Weekend 2021, which, because your season's not even going to be starting until, 2021. So I doubt your All-Star game would take place the following
as soon as the season started.
Yeah,
we've seen crazier things.
No.
A month into the season. Here's the All-Stars. What?
We are going to be having a summer All-Star game.
Right.
Or at least spring.
Right. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It's still going to be interesting. Them having free agency and the draft 2 days apart is wild.
It was like 6 days, so.
But, like, you had the 6-day moratorium and all of that shit like that, and now you only have a 2-day period. So that's where everything's gonna kind of come like.
Have they discussed when that period was going to be?
The league moratorium?
Yeah.
It's usually between the draft and free agency.
No, the moratorium starts on July 1st typically, and I think it's been ending pretty soon thereafter. Like, they've been shortening that window every year. So I think, like, this year was like July 3rd or think it was July 3rd, maybe, that the moratorium lifted. So, and like that week in between the draft and free agency, like you could still make moves. Like it just once July 1st hit, you can't do anything for like the duration of the moratorium. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. There's gonna be a lot of last minute, real quick deals.
I'm just ready for the fucking free agency to open so we know what's going on. To be honest, like that's all I care about at this point. Because like I'm tired of people talking about it. Oh, he's gonna leave. Like
you get that shit hard. Like I don't know. It's hard being. I don't know how y'all can be Bucks fans because it'd be irritating. Like as soon as y'all lose, like it's the end of the world. Oh, Middleton trash. Oh, Giannis is leaving. You like, bro, just because the nigga lost, like, come on, man, chill out.
A game, a single game.
You lose the game.
They look terrible though.
Blow up the whole team. Like y'all tripping, bro.
But I will say it's hard being a fan of a team who was unsuccessful for quite a long time and became newly successful and got these new motherfuckers who got all these opinions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's aggravating. Like, bro,
that's
do you really watch
about.
it? Like,
y'all wasn't in the BC with me wearing red and green, nigga.
Yeah.
They ain't started watching it to the conference finals of last year.
Shoot.
You weren't there when we could get courtside tickets for $50.
Me and Eric actually sat courtside at a game for about $50.
About $60.
Like we sat directly behind the Philadelphia 76ers bench. Like you could see my shirt on TV. Like that's how close for $50 on StubHub or SeatGeek or whatever it was.
Me and Eric was arguing over roster moves back then, fam. Like it's been a long time coming. This show, I can tell you that.
No, because these new cats got opinions. Like shut
since
your
we're
ass.
here, let's get
Like
into some
the Bucks?
NBA. Let's get some NBA playoff talk. Let's just dive into it then. Let's start off with the Bucks. As we record this, as I mentioned, August 25th, I put the Western Conference last because they have games that are going on as we record. I would like to be checking in on those games as we go.
Just as an update, 4 minutes left in the fourth. Denver leads Utah 101-100.
Ooh. So
They've been
all
putting
you
us a
had
good
to
game.
say.
Conley came back and they've been smacking them though.
That's funny. I did the same thing.
Hey, after that first game and
Say.
Mitchell got his shit off, and I was like, dude, Conley, you seen that shit? Was like, I said that before he even came back. I was like, Conley seen that shit. It was like, yeah, we can beat them. I'm on my way back. I know it's because of the kid, but watching that game, if he didn't think that at one point, because the way he's been playing in the bubble, that they couldn't beat Denver. Like, I felt like after that first game.
Hold on, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. We on the East. We on the East. We talking about the Bucks.
I bet.
Who lead the Magic 3-1 in the series. The Bucks play, in my opinion, has been better than what we saw in game one, which was utterly embarrassing and disgraceful. And I'm glad that that game seemed to have woken them up to some degree. I still don't think they're firing on all cylinders yet. Chris Middleton still is working on finding exactly what his rhythm's going to be.
He's still in the shop.
You said what now?
So he's still in the shop.
Still in the what?
The shop. They're still working on him.
Oh, the shop.
I thought you said he's still in shock. I'm like, what happened?
No.
I did too.
Shop.
I was like,
You got inside information and shit?
right. Like, what happened? What happened?
The tea with tip.
Yeah, no, their defense has been better. Like that's
It's been
really the big thing because like they're a streaky shooting team. Like Giannis is constant, and it really kind of comes down to if the other people are hitting shots, especially with Middleton struggling from the field. I like what came out yesterday where Giannis was like, at the start of the fourth, I told him to just keep shooting until your arms fall off. Like,
yeah,
that was the most frustrating thing is like Middleton would just disappear for stretches of the games. Like, damn, is he even out there? You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't taking shots. He wasn't initiating the offense. Like, he was just kind of there. It's like, I don't care if you miss. Like, I need you to at least be a threat.
Like,
to
some rhythm.
Same thing with Paul George, to be quite honest. Like, it's okay if you're missing shots, but, like, to just, like, completely become passive on the court and not be, you know, like, anything. You know what I mean? Like, just do something. Like, if your shot isn't falling, fine. Get to the rim. Get to the free throw line. Set other people up for shots. Like,
play good
do
defense.
something.
Do
Exactly.
everything else.
Fight.
Like, your shot is going to come.
Everything else. If you keep playing the game the right way, the shooting always finds itself eventually. Just
Like, it's not like you forgot how to shoot. Like, it's
Right.
gonna come back.
It's just a rough stretch right now.
keep
but
doing the right
keep
thing.
playing
I'm
defense,
glad.
rebound.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's having this rough stretch against the Magic. I hope that next series against Miami, he will, look more like Chris Middleton. So we know how the series is going to end. The Bucks are going to beat the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just look to round 2 because Miami Heat, they also defeated the Pacers. It was a clean sweep. Jimmy Butler did leave game 4 with a shoulder injury, so that's something just to keep an eye on. But
He did come back, but I don't think he shot much after that, and he definitely didn't make many, if any at all. So I'm sure it's bothering him. Like, to what degree? Who knows?
So Miami, Milwaukee, how do y'all think that series is going to go?
Be a fight.
Bucks in 6 started in a Miami versus Milwaukee series, so maybe it'll finally come to fruition now. But I do like Miami is a large jump in difficulty level from Orlando. And honestly, the way that Orlando has played is essentially what Miami looks to do. Like, they have a lot of shooting. They have an initiator that doesn't really shoot well from 3-point. They have a big that can make outside shots. So, like, and their shooters are, like, actually deadly. You know what I mean?
Duncan Robinson is unbelievable.
Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero got
Dragic just still dropped 30 on you.
Who?
Dragic.
Yeah.
Dragic just dropped 30 on you quietly. Like, what the fuck happened?
Whatever they're doing defensively, like, they need to lock in on that, and like their offense needs to be better. So, like, I'm still confident. Like, I still have them as the favorite. So, like I said, like, it's kind of just a rough patch.
Let me ask you, real quick, Tim, who you got in that series? Milwaukee or Miami?
Milwaukee.
Ken, Milwaukee or Miami?
Milwaukee.
Okay, so I have one of my uncles. I won't say which one. I'll tell y'all off the air. Or can I give y'all a hint? The one I grew up with in the house. Okay. We have a bet. He has no faith that the Bucks will be able to beat the Heat. So we've been talking about this since like this round started. Like, every Bucks game he's texting me like, Giannis ain't got it. I'd rather have Porzingis. Like,
oh, wow.
Wild, right? Wild. So my question to y'all is, I told him tomorrow, so when this episode comes out, is the day we'll set the wager of how much we're going to be betting on Milwaukee, Miami. How much should I bet this man? Like, how confident should I be?
For that disrespect, I want in on this action. Like, I
one-on-one. If it ain't too much.
Is it how much?
Tell him
I'll kick in.
I'll say
100.
Yeah, 50.
50 or a buck.
50 or a buck?
Yeah.
A buck for a Bucks win? A Bucks in 6?
Run that.
Yeah. I'm gonna start with a buck and we'll see what happens with that. But
work your way down.
Yeah, well, we can
negotiate
haggle down. We can haggle down if need be. Maybe we can we can haggle with fruits and whatnot too.
Get some essential herbs or some tea. Listen, I got you with the black tea.
No, my family's from Mississippi, and my uncle can pick out a mean watermelon. I might have to throw that in on the wager, fam. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can pick out a mean watermelon.
A mean watermelon.
The black every.
Watermelon's good, bro.
Delicious, fam. I know it's a stereotype, but watermelon is delicious.
Watermelon.
Toronto swept Brooklyn. I don't know if there's too much to say about that outside of Kyle Lowry. He had an ankle sprain in the last game. He actually didn't practice today, so he's being listed as day-to-day. Kyle gonna play. He gonna play. If he
don't, Van Vliet is still dangerous.
Yeah, Van Vliet is playing like
Van Vliet dropping 34.
Did he have another kid? What the fuck?
I don't know. Like, he's pregnant. You know what?
Oh, damn, dog.
I honestly think, how Van Vliet got that boost from having a son, and it just hasn't seemed to go away. What if Giannis gets a boost in the bubble once his family can enter into it? Like I can
That's
see
what I'm
that
hoping.
being a real thing. Like I can see him.
I can see that happening.
Honestly, even with Chris
I
having
was
his
gonna say
daughter there,
Giannis,
like
Chris, and Bledsoe all had
and
kids
Bled,
in the
yeah,
last year.
like to have they babies with him.
And like I was trying to do the math, I'm like, how many of y'all actually timed that? So like you saw what it did for Van Vliet. And you, like I need that.
Right. But
I know Chris's was born before Van Vliet's, but the other two, looking at y'all, especially Giannis, like that math actually checks out. But anyway,
yeah. Did y'all have...
one thing I don't know if you put this on the rundown, but Giannis did win Defensive Player of the Year.
Probably MVP too.
Yeah,
Congrats.
His
You
acceptance
sound all
speech was
sad.
nice.
Yeah, hey, over there, kid.
Oh, I just said congrats. Yeah, can I congratulate that?
Congratulations.
What you want, cookie, motherfucker? Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you got some,
No
I'll
more
take
than have a
some.
seat, son. Shit.
But yeah, Toronto beat the brakes off Brooklyn. We knew that was going to be the case. Boston embarrassed Philly. Joel Embiid by the end of the game 4, he looked so exhausted. He had nothing left to give.
Like, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Like
That's how
he
he
was
looked
just
like.
running.
He sounded like Bron right before he left Cleveland, bro. Like, he was just done, bro. Like, hey, it is what it is.
I didn't realize how broke the 76ers were from 3. Like before the season started, we said like, where's their shooting going? Like we knew it was going to be a problem, but I didn't realize how in real life broke they were. Like Jason Tatum and Brown, they actually had made more 3-point shots than the entire 76ers team going into game 4. Just the two of them, more than the rest of the like.
That's why they got Josh Richardson.
Yeah, that was a failure. He ain't a shooter.
I know, but it's like shit. They would need a little.
He
bit
was
more
like the best shooter on the court.
I know. That's funny when he got him. They ain't no shooting.
That was a failure of team building, like from top to bottom. Like the fact that they built a team to beat Milwaukee. Like first of all, that was a flawed premise to begin with. Like,
yeah,
Al Horford hasn't given Giannis problems in like 2 seasons. Like, it's completely overblown. Like what he does in that matchup.
And he's out of position.
Yeah, he just like he was showing signs of decline in Boston. So like having him be like your missing piece, like that just wasn't it. But like you said, like they didn't have shooting, like they had very limited like shot creation. For some reason, they got rid of Trey Burke mid-season.
I don't understand it.
He's been hooping over in Dallas.
Like they didn't re-sign TJ McConnell. Like they just like they did. And I wonder if it's because Ben Simmons considers himself a point guard, so they had to eliminate any competition that he had.
Shamet.
Huh?
They had Landry Shamet too.
Yeah, but I mean, they traded him for Tobias, so at least they picked up a piece for that. Like, but
I'm glad Tobias is okay because the way he fell in Game 4, I didn't know what had happened to him, and then I saw like blood, and I was like, this is wild. But he ended up coming back into the game somehow. Apparently, he passed concussion protocol.
They're like, you leaving anyway, it don't matter.
Damn.
Sheesh. But yeah, so we are going to have Boston, Toronto, round 2.
Can I just say one last thing about Philly? Like, I feel like it's a lot of people taking a victory lap. Like, oh, the process didn't work. Like, the process was aborted when they got rid of Hinkie. Like, the failures of this team had nothing to do with whether the process was good or bad or whatever. Like, the process did what it was supposed to do, which was
set them up,
give them stars. And regardless of how flawed Embiid and Simmons are, and regardless of how flawed their chemistry is, like it still gave them 2 top 20 players in the NBA. Like as far as I'm concerned, the process was successful for what it was supposed to do initially. Like what they've done since then, like they've squandered all their assets, but they had the ammunition to be great for a long time. And the problem was in the execution, but the process, like you can't say they got swept 7 years later is a failure of the process. Like I can't agree with that. And Brett Brown got fired. Like,
I was like, yeah, that Brett Brown got fired, and Elton Brand, who was the GM of the Sixers, he said that he is not looking to trade Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he should be fired next. He made some bad decisions too.
It don't work, bro. Unless you finna go and sign every shooter in the league.
They need to surround them. They need to actually put the pieces around them that actually fit for the way they're trying to play.
Hell, Jamal Crawford was a free agent all day.
It's valid.
Shit.
And on top of that too, we didn't get a chance to actually see what it looked like with Ben Simmons at power forward next to Joel as the center, because that's something that they said they were working on. So maybe the next head coach can find a way to actually unlock that pairing together. But I don't blame Elton Brand for being like, I'm not trading them.
Like, first of all, you'd be trading them from a position of weakness anyway. So you shouldn't be looking to trade them now anyway. Plus, like, give another coach a chance. Like, somebody would have looked at the Bucks situation like, I can't win with this roster. And then Bud came in and they won 60.
Had John Henson shooting threes.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, he shooting
big threes,
running up the court
with that T-shirt on,
big ass T-shirt.
Jamal Murray dropped 42.
Yeah, he hit a real lucky three at the end too. So
42, 8-8. Jokic 31, 6-4. Well, Denver lived to fight. Well, it looks like they're gonna live to fight another day.
What's the score?
113-107 with 13 seconds left. Oh, Mitchell only had 30 today.
Only had 30.
Slacking, man. Like, what you doing?
It was up to 20.
He's slacking, man. Like, I need at least 42. At least 42.
I mean,
let me ask y'all to get y'all back. Boston, Toronto, who you got in the series?
It's gonna be a war, man.
That's going 7.
I'm going Boston, though.
I'm going Toronto. They got the bench.
I'm going Toronto, I think. Because Toronto's a little bit deeper, and they're still missing Hayward. So
they scrappy as shit, man.
Yeah. But Boston has the best player in the series.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jason Tatum has been.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be fun to see Tatum versus Siakam.
I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm sure it'll be fine basketball.
It's gonna be fun. I think it'll be fun.
Like, I don't see them going at it the same way that Mitchell and
Jamal
Murray have been.
Or what about Kemba and Lowry? Or Van
Like, that's not really their game. Like, I guess I'm not looking forward to individual matchups. Like, that it's the teams for me. And, like, it's a contrast in styles.
It truly is.
Who you got?
I don't know. The Bucks fan in me is rooting for Boston just because I feel like they're more easily beatable. But
they're a better matchup for us.
I think that Toronto just had, like, they can beat you in so many different ways.
They got a lot of players. They got a lot of players.
Toronto, but I'm not very confident about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think the series goes 7. I'm looking forward to that one.
It's gonna be a fun series.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a battle.
Or if it goes less than 7, then it's only because all the games were tight.
Yeah. And honestly, the second round in the East is about to be lit. Like, these should be very, very good games. Very, very good games.
The first round wasn't competitive at all. Like, even the Bucks series, like, they just laid an egg in game 1, but, like, that hasn't really been a contest.
I guess they needed to do so to wake up a little bit, because Giannis has been a whole different type of player since that loss. Like, he's been so much more animated, realizing, like, we got to cheer ourselves on a little bit. It's been fun to see. He needs to work on his arrow, though. His West arrow. That man was like,
he had never shot an arrow before.
I was sitting there looking at him like,
I need to work on that.
That's one of my favorite celebrations, though, West Arrow.
Yeah, it's actually real slick. Wes was cooking in that. Like,
he's so smooth with it too.
I'm being there imitating this shit.
That's the next Bucks jersey I've been planning to get, because when I saw he signed a team, I was like, I gotta get the Marquette. I gotta.
Yeah. Hey,
gotta do
before
it.
The season started, I told y'all him and Carver was gonna be excellent. I was geeked about both of them. Remember? I was geeked as shit that we had got both of them. Y'all like, yeah, all right.
I don't know.
As if I wasn't geeked about something.
Right, like who
else.
argued against you? Like
No,
everybody.
no, I
He always
this
nigga think he
and
LeBron James.
big things happening. I was kind of trying to levy my expectations,
This
and I was like,
nigga
nah,
he think he's
nah.
LeBron.
They gonna be nice, bro.
You think
He
you're
making up
psychic,
stuff.
dog?
Tim Salabim, I'm saying. I predict your future and shit.
I mean, they solid role player additions. That's what everybody expected them to be.
Yeah.
They've been great.
I wish that Kyle
Hopefully-
Korver was younger and he could like just stay here for a while.
And hopefully he can stay on the court in this next series.
Yeah. Also, I think in Miami, I think Pat Connaughton is gonna get some more tick. He's able to guard Duncan Robinson pretty well. I'm not sure exactly what it is about that particular, like the way they screen for him, but Pat's able to get around those screens pretty well, very aggressively. So
That's like the Bucks have a couple guys that fight screens really well. So Bled is like
he's a dog.
I don't know. Like he's a
when Bledsoe cares,
yeah,
he is next world. He's like an all-star. Like, but he just has to care for the whole time.
I wonder like what his relationship was like with Dragic in Philly. I mean, not Philly, in Phoenix, because like like they had way too many point guards at one point, and like none of them were happy. So I don't know if that was like an interpersonal thing or if they all just kind of want the ball. So like I don't know if he'll be motivated by that.
What was the third one?
Like I mean, it's the second round of playoffs. Like you shouldn't really need extra motivation to lock in. I mean, he's been fine this year. Like save for game one. Like I think that he's been fine.
Yeah.
Even if he hasn't been scoring a bunch, but that's not really his role on this team.
Yeah. He has looked surprisingly bouncy at times too, where he's creating his shot in ways I'm like, wow, that was beautiful. Yeah. But anywho, NFL transactions and injuries. Tim.
All right, so LA Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams, his shoulder, he could miss the team's season opener. NFL Network reports that Williams' timeline is about 2 to 4 weeks. Las Vegas Raiders.
Wait,
real quick. I forgot to mention this on we forgot to mention it in general, but like on our Tech File Cinema episode from last week, on Hard Knocks, like it was a funny moment with Mike Williams. Like they were talking about like the little sensors that they have for like staying 6 feet away from people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, I forgot mine in the locker room. And then somebody told me it was a $50,000 fine. He's like, oh Lord. And he was going in the locker room. I was dying. Like
that was I definitely forgot about that.
I did.
He sure did.
Like,
I forgot who it was.
He's like $50K. Oh, hell no.
But somebody was out there making sure everybody stayed away from it. He was like, you too close. Back up, you too close. Hey, your sensor red, move.
Ooh.
Oh, that's actually pretty dope.
I need them for real life. Like, stay the fuck away from me.
The motherfuckers still want to roll up on you to this day. Like, well, can you move? You back up?
Okay, Tim, keep on keeping on for us.
Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Terrell Williams has suffered a torn labrum in his shoulder, but will try to play through it after rehabbing it. Don't think that's a good idea. Probably should just rehab it. But then again, they have young wide receivers that are hungry, and he probably don't want to lose his spot. They got Henry Ruggs the third. So
it's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot to be in.
A lot of players play through injury, but hey, do what's best for you, sir. And I hope that the medical staff is advising you in the most proper fashion. There you go. Thank you for the help.
No problem. The Cleveland Browns have had some secondary injuries. Cleveland plays free safety Grant Delpit on injured reserve with the torn Achilles tendon in his season, which sucks.
Achilles.
Oh, Ken ain't here to go Achilles.
But he was their second round pick, so that's a big hit for them because he was expected to start, and he was cold in college. Without Delpit, the Browns have a major hold opposite strong safety Carl Joseph. Cleveland is still evaluating cornerback Greedy Williams, another LSU product, shoulder injury. Williams missed time with both shoulder and ankle issues as a rookie last season. Cleveland cornerback Kevin Johnson suffered a lacerated liver during practice and was admitted to the local hospital. The team announced another player fell on Johnson during practice. It's unclear when Johnson, who signed a one-year deal with the Browns in March, will be able to return to the team.
I'm definitely about to ask, like, are they hitting at this point? Like, how the hell?
Yeah, they tackling now.
That he fell on them.
Yeah, they tackling now. They put pads. Yeah, they're tackling now. They're tackling now. I've been seeing some videos and stuff like that. But San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk has a mild hamstring strain. They are hurting wide receivers, like literally. Los Angeles Rams running back Darrell Henderson suffered a mild hamstring injury, and the team hopes to have him back by week 1. He had drawn praise for his play during training camp before the injury, but with the setback, rookie running back Cam Akers is clearly the favorite to get solid touches in the early season. And he's expected to probably take over anyways if that didn't work out. Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said quarterback Lamar Jackson, running back Justice Hill, and cornerback Marcus Peters have been dealing with soft tissue injuries. That sucks because those things can last all season, and they might never be able to get right until they actually sit and rehab it.
Yeah, I would imagine like there's gonna be a lot of that because like look how many hamstrings you said so far. Like I don't know how much you guys were able to work out over like the early quarantine days. Like I don't know, like that's the fear is that there's gonna be a lot of soft tissue things just because like people's exercise
and conditioning.
Their exercise and the conditioning schedules were thrown off so much. Like they didn't have mini camps. Like their training camps have been kind of disjointed, let's say. Like they aren't gonna have preseason games to kind of ramp up slowly. So yeah, their bodies are all out of whack.
Denver Broncos linebacker Todd Davis, his calf is expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. Davis was carted off on Thursday and feared to have suffered a torn ACL. It's clearly a relief that he instead only missed contact portion of camp. Previous calf injury also forced the 28-year-old to miss 2 regular season games last year. The San Francisco 49ers, speaking of which, placed wide receiver Jalen Hurd on he had a torn ACL on season-ending injured reserve. And lastly, the Denver Broncos rookie wide receiver KJ Hamler, his hamstring will be out a couple weeks. So it's just a lot of some really, damn near all of them soft tissue.
Mm-hmm.
Transactions: Ravens released safety Earl Thomas after on-field altercation. So this was a wild story. Or
I just want to say, it sounded like this man was trying to get fired.
Yeah, because I mean, you get into a fight. But they said that you showing up late to practices because you got to get your car washed and just other goofy shit. It's just like he didn't want to be there, or he felt like he was bigger than because he was a vet. He was Earl Thomas, that he could just kind of do what he was going to do and just get away with it. And he was going to be the star safety because he could do that. But last year it didn't show that you still the same Earl. So
it's just been a bad year for that man. Like it started with him getting punked in that playoff game.
Oh yeah.
Then all the stuff came out with his ex and his brother, or I don't remember what happened exactly. But
he was when he got held at knife
never
point.
Want to get on TMZ, huh?
When he was held at knife point.
Yeah. Yeah. And now all this stuff, and now you out of a job, like just bad.
It's tough.
I just think that to Camille, like, oh Lord, not Earl.
Right,
man.
That was hilarious.
Earl ain't been the same since.
I'm saying like his 2020 has been like our collective 2020.
Right. So
he out
pretty
here
much
being late for practice because he wanted to get his car washed. Like Earl ain't
Early.
The Ravens announced that they had terminated his contract for personal conduct that has adversely affected the team. The Ravens are expected to try to avoid his $10 million guaranteed salary this season. It is expected that the safety will file a grievance. So
they want their money back. He don't want to give it back.
Right. Makes sense. Said it could take months to figure this out and things like that.
I mean, what's his name? The big chest. Antonio Brown.
Brown.
His thing took all year for him to try to get his money back from the Patriots. So
so it's gonna take a minute. Speaking of safeties, Cardinals signed safety Buda Baker to a 4-year, $59 million extension. So Baker, 24, is now the highest paid safety in league history per ESPN's Adam Schefter. Baker will make around like $14.75 million per year over the next 4 seasons. He was the 2017 second-round pick, and he led all safeties in tackles and allowed the 5th fewest receptions among safeties.
I always find football deals to be funny because it's like that's a I don't know. That's a solid Brooke Lopez type contract. Like, but you're the richest person at your position.
It's just different in the NFL.
It's not all guaranteed.
NXT 30 took place this weekend, as well as SummerSlam. Only thing from NXT I want to highlight is the fact that Keith Lee lost his title to Killian Cross. Unfortunately, Killian Cross also injured himself during that match and therefore had to relinquish the title. But Keith Lee got called up and he's now on Raw. And he'll be fighting Randy Orton at Payback. The other pay-per-view WWE is having, which is this weekend.
So a couple of notes on that. So one, I enjoyed that Pat McAfee match. That was fun. Like, he
was diving
me.
and shit.
Yeah, like that backflip he did off the top rope and then jumped back up like Shelton Benjamin. Like that was impressive. Like for a non-wrestler, like he had a really good wrestling match, which probably means you need to give credit to Adam Cole. But
a lot of credit to him.
Yeah. But talking about Keith Lee getting called up to the main roster, like they handicapped that man immediately. Like they changed his facial hair, they changed his theme music, they changed his wrestling gear. In his debut match, like he had momentum, and then he was starting to get beat up and was finna get finished. So then they just pulled the plug on the match with a no DQ. Like that's not how you make a dude look strong in his debut, like at all. Like you just like they got him in what looks like a cross between like Mark Henry's ring gear and Viscera's pajamas. Like, how you got this man wrestling in silk boxers?
Not Fit Philly. Roddy Piper skirt.
Oh, I was gonna say it looked like Samoa Joe's shorts, but again, like none of it is just like flattering. Like I don't know who looked at this finished product that was Keith Lee, and then it's like, oh no, we need to change everything about this dude.
It sucks because as much I thought about this today, it kind of light bulbed. I was going to tweet it, but I was busy.
In case you don't watch wrestling, Keith Lee he was one of the black champions we had mentioned prior on the show.
He won the North American Championship and the NXT title, and then he relinquished the North American Championship to only focus on the NXT title for him to lose his NXT title in his very first defense. No, not his very first defense. I'm sorry. To lose it against Karrion Kross, but he didn't have it that long.
Yeah.
It
was not a long run at all.
It was his first takeover defense, right?
I would go with that because he did it at Great American Bash is when he won it.
Yeah.
So in between, he's had some title defenses on NXT, but I think this is his first takeover defense. For him to turn around and, like you said, strip him of everything on Raw is wild because as hard as Vince is pushing NXT to watch this and view this and watch this and view this, why the fuck would you change him like nobody's ever seen him before? Like you're pushing watch NXT. You having this NXT stars show up. You having NXT, and then when they come up to Raw or SmackDown, you act like they don't exist at all. Like their character on NXT was absolutely null and void. You can't do that no more. I would understand doing it in the past when he was doing OVW and shit like that.
I have to point out the fact that Keith Lee's title reign was actually 175 days.
Damn, it didn't seem that long.
It was over
that is the second longest.
Quarantine.
Next to Velveteen Dream, who had it
for
200
for the NXT title.
No, that's the North American.
That's the North American.
Oh, is it?
Because Velveteen, he never had the NXT.
Velveteen never won.
Unless I missed some shit.
No, Velveteen never won.
Oh, this is. Why would they have this one here? I don't care about this belt.
Yeah, the North American Championship. He had that for a minute.
Yeah,
but
no, all these title reigns are kind of like apparently they were saying on SummerSlam. So full disclosure, like I did watch wrestling this weekend for the first time since WrestleMania. I'll get to that with my SummerSlam, or like when we get to SummerSlam. But they were saying on the show, like, what's the Street Profits? Like they're the longest reigning Raw Tag Team champs, but that's because like they've had it pretty much the entire quarantine and just nothing been happening. So
they've defended them, but.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not a noteworthy reign because it's like all this shit is happening at the Performance Center. Like,
okay, Keith Lee's reign was 52 days.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all.
Which is not the shortest. Samoa Joe only had 14 days.
Was that his second or first?
His second.
Yeah,
during his first, he had it 121.
Yeah, Joe had it for a little bit too, but yeah, it's just. It sucked, and I even told Sam when he appeared, I'm like, his theme music don't even make sense. Like the way it starts, basket is glory, and then the rest of his theme song goes with that portion of it. His theme song no longer makes sense. It's
You'll
like, it's
see.
just the whole
I mean,
character.
he has pay-per-view debut this Sunday against Randy Orton. It should be a good wrestling match. So,
Oh
it'll be
yeah.
interesting
But if he
to see how that
loses,
goes.
like that completely kills him. Like out the
They
gate.
can't have him lose. They can't. If they do that, I'm just gonna turn it off. And I'm just gonna stare at the screen like Jim from now. I'm gonna look somewhere for a fake camera, and then that's gonna be the end of that.
Real quick, one more. He did tweet today because everybody had been tweeting and pissed off about his music. So Keith Lee did respond and said on Twitter, said, "Music is out of my hands. Period. Leave it be. I'll sort it out later." Like,
Okay.
oh motherfucker.
I mean, I don't know why people would be tweeting him. Like he responded like people mad at him that he changed his music. Like,
I mean, people,
You know how wrestling
fans
fans
are toxic.
You already know. You already know.
So
how
they
his
probably
mental
were
look.
tweeting him, thinking that he changed his music, knowing damn well that man. They think of it like this: they took away his gear too. He was selling his gear and his merch. He don't have no merch now because they took away his ring attire and his gear.
I mean, they still selling it, but
why not have it on Raw?
I'm just telling you, they're gonna still sell it. They're gonna have it in a little NXT store probably, and it's gonna be
Like-
like its own brand.
when I saw him come out in that shit, like I'm like, Vince took one look at him and was like, he's too naked or his shorts are too tight. Like Vince has a thing about like fat people, but it's like you employ like
He fucked with Mark Henry.
250.
Let's
You know
talk.
how much shit that Mark Henry took for being overweight for years.
But he was
like,
the
the
strongest
reason
man.
The reason he never got pushed was because Vince thought he was fat.
Bro.
What about Viscera?
Viscera was made to be a joke.
Mm.
And like he made him wrestle in pajamas. Like
The
you're
Missy
not
Bobby
helping your
suit.
case here.
Silk
like,
pajamas.
like he never had big black men like that aren't muscular. Like he never has them uncovered. Like he always puts more and more clothes on them.
Yeah.
Just for interest of time, we're gonna keep it moving. Summer, because we're talking about the whole Western Conference playoffs too. So
For sure.
SummerSlam was also this weekend. As Eric mentioned, it was his first time watching wrestling in ages. All three
I
of
was
y'all watched
intrigued
the
by it.
pay-per-view. I fell asleep during it. I'm just not that interested. So I'm gonna let y'all have this.
Only thing I was intrigued by was Roman Reigns coming back with Matt Hardy's teeth.
I don't care. He was still fine. White teeth and all.
I just want to know, like, how come when people get their teeth capped, like it's always like them big ass, super straight, super white that don't look natural at all. Like
They all smile like this.
yeah, they look like people with grills, like they go out of their way to make sure that you can see their teeth,
Oh yeah.
or like maybe the teeth are just too big for their mouth, so they can't close it all the way.
Thought it was trash Sasha lost, but at the same time I kind of expected it because she ain't had the title longer than 27 days. So I was like, damn. But
I'm sure that's a tool just to break them up as a team.
yeah, but
they're
I
probably
mean,
gonna
like
lose on
literally.
Sunday too.
Huh?
They're probably gonna lose on Sunday too
Yeah.
when they defend their tag titles, and then it's just gonna be Bailey
Bayley.
left with the belt, and then Sasha's gonna be like, "Well, I want that belt," and then they gonna finally fight, and then we can break them up, and they can have a feud, and then we can move on.
Mhm.
I just
Oh,
told
It
you.
makes sense for them to
That does
feud,
make
not going like leading up to like Mania or something. But
I was about to say, yeah, it's not that far off again.
It's
now.
not
So,
so, SummerSlam, so
they
it's time
probably
to start
will-
sowing those seeds.
Yeah.
They might pay it off at the
Survivor
Royal
Series?
Rumble or Survivor Series. Who knows? Depends on how long they want to milk that. But anyways, any other SummerSlam thoughts?
It was better than I expected though, because I ain't really watched the pay-per-view in a minute, so I just peep in and peep out type shit. But yeah, it was way better than I expected. The Thunderdome is kind of dope. Like I didn't know like how they was go like fully like pull off the effect, but
Yeah.
I like it though. It's better than it's better than what they were doing before.
I don't know if
Pyro
y'all
effect.
Yeah.
that's cool. I don't know if y'all seen it though, but like people are acting up.
Yeah.
You
Wrestling fans.
Like it's
Yeah.
people like they had like a Chris Benoit photo up. Like it's people.
Yeah.
Like somebody had like an ISIS video playing.
Somebody was just like
it was
the
one other
Clan.
thing too. I forgot. Huh?
Somebody was just like the Clan.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like,
What?
somebody dressed up as KKK.
Mhm.
Yeah, I ain't see that one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
See?
so
Wrestler
you
fans.
give people an inch,
Yeah.
take a fucking mile.
And somebody on Twitter actually said that they was like, I don't think I've seen anything like that on NBA. Have anybody else seen anything like that with NBA?
No,
I was
you
like,
seeing stuff like goats and people dressed as
or people just in the cameras.
clowns, and you did have a
The
dude.
NBA
You
has
had
more
a
resources.
you did have the one guy smoking a blunt though. He was smoking a blunt during the Bucks game.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Smoking Lil Wayne. Or like
No, it was just some random guy who had a virtual seat. He had a blunt during the game.
I saw a video of like Wayne like went off his camera and then he came back and then blew some smoke out. So he wasn't actually smoking, but there was smoke.
Oh, we don't know what that could have been. It could have been hookah. It could have been
Hey, hit the hookah real quick. Man, pass me a hookah.
I'm sure the dude during the Bucks game was just smoking a brown cigarette, you know?
There you go. Yeah,
he had a black and mild. He had a black and mild.
Just my backwood.
A backwood cigar, sir.
That's the thing. Like the NBA, like first of all, like not all of their cameras, like all of their fans are on the screen all the time, and also like they went with way less screens. Like WWE has like 200 people on the camera at least,
like for real,
at a time.
Like,
1,000. You asking for yourself, like I said, at least. Like I wasn't gonna try to sit there and count. So, like maybe try to lessen the amount of people that you have, or at least don't have them be live, so that you can actually sit there and monitor the stream.
Yeah, we're actually doing this. Yeah.
I don't know how they would time that with if it. I don't know.
Like, do you really need live fan reactions? Anyway?
Because they're piping in the noise anyway.
Exactly.
So you're right.
So I gotta look it up. But Sam said that with their stream, part of the agreement that if you do misbehave, they're just gonna kick you out and add somebody back in, because I guess there's a waiting list or like a queue for people to get in for people that they're kicking out. So maybe they just need to hire more people to look at more screens then.
Everybody has one screen. How many videos you got? I need a screen for it in the back. You need somebody watching.
Right.
But I mean, like they fired all the employees, so
and bringing them back as retribution.
There's some soccer news on here. I see.
Yeah, some real quick. Just want to say congrats to Bayern Munich. They beat PSG. So Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. They took that L, but PSG lost to Bayern Munich in the 2020 Champions League final. So congrats to them. But what the news of Barcelona losing, because they got smacked by Bayern, I think it was like 8-1. They got smacked. Messi said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." So Messi said, "I'm leaving. I don't want to be at Barcelona no more."
Been there since he was 13 years old.
You said what?
He's been there since he was 13 years old.
Yeah, and he hasn't moved. And there's been rumblings that he may want to move, or rumors, and people have thought about it and tried, but now he's like, yeah.
That man is 33 now.
He is. And still cold. Still one of the greatest.
He's been there for 20 years is what you're telling me?
Yeah, in Barcelona as a legend.
Like he started as one of their youth players and has worked his way up to
around about 16, 17, he became the prodigy.
Dang,
I mean, he's a prodigy, but yeah, he's been on the big team like since.
And his contract not even up till next year. And he's like, hey, look, hey.
He has a clause in it that allows him to leave for free, right?
Yeah.
Free transfer.
So reports from Argentina claim Messi believes a clause in the contract should oblige Barcelona to let him leave for free. However, as reported by ESPN earlier this year, the club maintained that particular clause expired at the start of the summer. The team
that summer when we were in quarantine.
Yeah, so they ain't extend that. They ain't extend that, but he may be coming over to Man City. I've been trying to get him over here for a while now, but he may go over to my team, bro. We got Messi. It's a wrap.
So they just got off on a technicality about like trying to buy too many players, so they could just go try to buy the most expensive players.
They crunching the numbers right now to make sure it's legal. Like we're literally crunching the numbers to try to make sure that we can sign Messi legally.
Penny, I'm sure.
Because they did sign, they've already signed a couple like top-notch players since everything got good. We've signed some great defenders and some young talent.
I actually ordered me a Messi Barcelona shirt for my birthday that won't be here till October, and he might not be on the team by that time.
Damn. Hey, City got some cold ass black Puma jerseys that they're coming out with.
Well, I ain't been to Manchester, so.
I mean, that jersey has sentimental value though. It's a legendary jersey.
Yeah. And it was black and gold. Like, it was just cold. Like, I just liked it. I was like, and then, Messi is their best player. And he wear number 10, which is like my favorite number. So that's the influence of events that now he gonna fuck up. So
let's talk Western Conference playoffs and then get into blow the whistle and take top 5.
Right.
Ken, I'm glad you're here, buddy.
Big boy antlers, what up?
You on camera this time. Now everybody go. You better chill out. I ain't gonna say.
You mean antlers?
Yeah, he was doing this, y'all.
Yeah,
big
Giannis antlers.
Yeah, it's antlers. Big boy antlers.
So the Lakers lead the Trailblazers 3-1 currently in the series. Game 5 will be tomorrow, Wednesday, the 26th. So as y'all listening, if you're day 1, it's today.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Zach Collins in Portland, and they're not going to have Dame Dollar tomorrow either. So I'm just going to say this series is done. Even if Portland somehow squeaked out a win, I don't see y'all. Yeah, I don't see y'all winning 3 of them. It's not going to happen. It was a fun story. But Ken, how did you feel throughout this the series?
I'm not gonna lie. Initially going into it, at the beginning, I was nervous because Portland was hot and Dame was just like on fire. When we did lose the first game, like I wasn't nervous. I was like, I know we gonna bounce back or whatever because we are the better team.
Big cash.
So
you wasn't talking that shit after game 1. Go ahead.
Who was it? What am I scared of Portland? Fuck out of here. Everybody, that's what I want to fucking say. Everybody want to talk shit, all LeBron trash, all LeBron this, all this stupid shit when a nigga lose. Then what? Now we winning, nigga put up 30 points. Now where everybody at? Where they at, Duke?
I don't know, man.
Dang time at me. Fuck out of here. What's wrong with y'all?
Hey, Dame was cooking.
Until he got hurt.
Y'all had to take my mans out, bro.
He got hurt and he got tired. That man has been hooping at an ungodly level for some weeks now.
Yeah. The man was running 100%. Game
all
after
the time.
Game after game. Exactly. He finally hit that wall.
You thankful?
Honestly.
Hey, God's good. God's good all the time. I take him when I get him.
Talk to him.
Wait, are you thanking God that Dame got hurt? Like, what the hell? What kind of shit is that?
Wait, is that what you said?
That ain't what I said.
He said he ran to a wall, and thank God. Like, am I misinterpreting?
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
Did my cord talk? I don't know.
God works in mysterious ways.
So
who am I? Right. Who am I to question God?
Hey, you better get off Hall of Fame, Dame.
Right. It's the patron saint of Technophile Podcast.
Right. Get off
our boy. It ain't like you talking about Paul Pierce around this motherfucker.
Dang, Melo was balling too.
Man, listen. Let me pause you real quick. Carmelo Anthony, thank you for that Melo game that you had because you won me some money. Thank you.
How much you win?
I appreciate you. I don't know. I took some of my friends' money, in a little.
What was the wager? Like, what were y'all?
We play FanDuel.
We do private games on FanDuel.
Oh, God. I thought you meant like somebody was like Melo ain't gonna score and then he dropped whatever.
Yeah.
No, I picked him on my squad and he had a game.
That's some faith because he had nothing.
I had picked him the first 2 games too.
So he lost you some money first.
Like, you don't have to pay it off. Like, you don't have to pay it off at some point, Melo. You owe me. I feel it's coming.
She had the utmost faith, bro. She had Middleton when he was still struggling. Melo.
And when I won this game with Melo, it was because I still had faith. Like, Middleton had bounced back. Bledsoe had a great game. Brogdon
was cooking.
His mind game. It was Anthony Davis heard it cooking in the second half.
It was everybody revenge game type shit.
Yeah, everybody
took niggas' money. I'm like, damn.
You finished in second though, so it's
I came in second. Still. Damn.
Anywho, yeah, Lakers are gonna win this series. Portland put on a valiant effort. Like the way they played in this bubble was something I think NBA fans will remember for a while. Like that was a special run that Dame went on for sure. Especially
since it was the catalyst was Paul George and Pat Bev. Like
Exactly.
and now he broke them niggas mentally.
Man, listen. Paul George. Should we just talk about the Clippers are playing the.
Just go right into it.
Low. They up by 15 right now.
Who, the Clippers?
The Clippers, yeah.
That
In the
won't
first.
last long.
I was gonna say like they've had big leads in I think the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And Dallas comes back. So
that is true because in game 4, I definitely turned it off. I was like, oh, it's about to be a nap. I think I turned 2K on or something.
Game 1, I think they went up like 19-2 or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had got an alert and I was like, oh, let me turn the game back on. Oh, they hooping.
That was one of the best games that I've seen in some years. Like that game was just back and forth down the stretch. Luka is undeniable. Like I can't.
He's different.
Is Atlanta sick?
Is what?
It's only 2 years after the trade. Is Atlanta sick about it?
I mean, I think at least Atlanta has Trae Young to
Is Atlanta sick about it?
Can I finish my sentence? At least Atlanta has Trae Young. Like, if anybody needs to be sick, it's Sacramento.
Sacramento, yes.
Because he's been hurt, so maybe Marvin Bagley can turn it around. But thus far, like you had the natural connection there. Like you got Vlade and Peja, like they all from the former Yugoslavia. Like,
I thought he didn't want to play for Sacramento because I thought Peja didn't want to draft him or Vlade because somebody was beefing with his daddy or some shit like that. One of it was a beef. The reason why it was something personal. The reason why they didn't draft Luka.
I ain't hearing nothing about that.
I just know that they never really considered him. And again, like Ayton, Trae Young, like they're at least trending towards being really good NBA players. Marvin Bagley doesn't have that track record. Like all 3 teams should be like, damn, we fucked up. But
I mean, Atlanta had him. That's why I said them.
Much like
they're always going to be linked. Like that's a natural connection to go to. Luka and Trae are going to be linked for their entire career because of that trade.
But much like Houston doesn't get shit for taking Olajuwon over Jordan, but Portland does for taking Bowie over Jordan. Like, you know, like if you get a good player out of it, like you can't really be too mad, even if it's not the transcendent superstar.
Fair.
Now
that's fair.
Right now, we're gonna come back to Clippers, Dallas last since they're playing. We can have the most up-to-date score. Houston leads Oklahoma City, or I'm sorry, it's tied 2-2. It says leads, but then it says 2-2. So I was being Ron Burgundy. My bad. Russ still hasn't played in this series. He's still day-to-day with his strained right quad. So
I think I saw that he's gonna be out for Game 5, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I think
2-2.
OKC figured him out too.
Houston went up 2-0, and then OKC said, we got something back. Chris Paul looked absolutely amazing during Game 3.
Yeah.
That overtime, like...
He unreal, dog.
It was nice to see him look like Chris Paul. It was nice to have a retro Chris Paul game. Who y'all got in this series now? We've seen 4 games. Last week, me and Tim both came in saying the Thunder, and then Eric talked us into Houston a little bit, and I jumped ship.
I did too. But I think
you brought up the fact that Houston, even without Russ, like this is how James Harden flourishes. So like they should.
That's interesting that I convinced y'all of that because I definitely took OKC.
Yeah, I know you did, but that was your you pulled a tent where you argued against.
Well, no, I was just saying like they have that like that was what they would have to do. Like I wasn't saying that as it was a good thing. Like I've seen.
I saw it as James Harden had like 60. He gonna be out here cooking.
Oh, yeah, no, that definitely was not my argument, but yeah, I'm sure I'll take it.
But I don't know. It looks like, as Tim mentioned, that the Thunder might have figured out a little something about how to run with Houston, but these games have been so close that, I mean, Game 3 really went down in overtime because James Harden fouled out. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that these are 2 very evenly matched teams, even when Russ gets back, because he changes like the way that Houston has to play. So I think that either way, like it's going to be close down the stretch. Like I don't think either team is like demonstrably better than the other. Houston lost Game 4 because they went cold from 3, which is going to happen. Like they're not a very good 3-point shooting team. but they're
it's just
streaky.
the volume. Yeah.
Right, and they just shoot a bunch of them. So like they're gonna go cold and they're gonna get hot at points. Like it just depends on how long you can ride that roller coaster. I do think that Dort is a very good defender on
Oh
Harden.
my God, he
like
is.
He was like built in a lab to guard James Harden. And he's
Specifically
very
for
patient.
James.
He's very patient too. Like that's the thing. Like he
To be that
doesn't
young?
reach. Yeah, he doesn't reach. He moves his feet, and he doesn't fall for like all those tricks that James Harden uses on other people. So, like if anything gives them confidence going forward, it's that. But again, like if Houston can make open 3-pointers, like they would have won Game 4 going away.
Jeff Green been hooping.
Mm-hmm.
He's been looking good. Yeah.
And Eric Gordon back has been a big help for him too.
I hadn't even realized that Houston got the entire OKC band back together, save for Russ. Like, if you look at the early OKC teams, like before they started making the playoffs, like it was Harden, Russ, Jeff Green, and KD. So, I don't know, just
Okay.
interesting. Like the fact that they're now playing against OKC is interesting.
Let me ask you this, Ken, because the winner of that series will be playing the Lakers in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preference of who you play? Like, is there one team that you're more like, I'd rather play them instead of the other?
I'd rather play Houston, to be honest. Because we tend to not play as well against teams that has like a true point guard.
You might have Rondo back though.
Still, I mean, Chris,
They are missing Rondo though, like this.
Yeah, we definitely miss.
He said that
Chris
earlier.
Paul,
Before.
yeah, but Chris Paul, man, I mean, I'd rather see James Harden than Chris Paul. I know that might sound crazy, but
But theoretically, they'll have Russ back by then too.
yeah.
And
Well,
then
we-
okay,
No.
okay.
I'm confident. I'm hella confident my Lakers be.
He started
So
brushing
you don't
his
care who
beard.
you play. It don't matter.
It don't even matter because we're going to the finals, so it is what it is.
But
Or
if you
get-
had to pick, you'd rather have
First.
Rockets.
Yeah, personally, I'd rather have Rockets.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that one. They might still be playing next week, but all we know that series might be going
Might go
7.
7 on that one.
Yeah.
So we also have Utah and Denver, as we mentioned. Denver won tonight to bring the series to 3-2, lit up by another day. Jamal Murray had another outstanding game.
So streaky.
He's been
streaky as
pretty.
crap.
I mean,
He's been
in
pretty
the
consistent.
playoff, he's been pretty consistent.
Like he's about the only one that has brought consistent effort across all 5 games to this point. Like Jokic kind of comes and goes. Like even if his numbers are there, like similar to Middleton, like he just kind of disappears for stretches, and you kind of forget that he's on the court. And like I think the entirety, what was that game 3 that they got blown out? Like he was just terrible that game. And their defense is ass. Like Michael Porter Jr. is sub Jabari level defense.
Bruh.
Like
Just all leg defense.
he is a turnstile like that.
Like damn, bro. Put a hand. No, don't put your hands this way. Put them out. God damn.
And like I don't even know if it's an effort thing or if he just has like terrible lateral quickness and he can't keep up with anybody. But that kid is lost, and they're doing everything they can to attack him every time he's on the court. Like he has no chance against Donovan Mitchell.
Tim has a point here. I just looked at Jamal Murray's numbers. Yeah, he had 36 in game 1, 14 in game 2, 12 in game 3, 50 in game 4, and 42 in game 5. So,
I think the effort was there, even if it.
That was I remember even during the season, like he would put up some numbers, but he'll have games where he'll just be.
I mean, the thing with that too is in the games that he lost, he had 13 shots in game 2 and 16 in game 3, but game 1 he had 20. Game 4 he had 31, and game 5 he had 25 shots, 26 shots. Like if he's, I guess he needs to shoot a lot. I guess he's a volume shooter.
20 plus shots a game.
Like he has to shoot 20 times.
But that was consistent going back to last year though too. Like in the games that they won, like he would have big scoring numbers. In the games that they lost, like his numbers would be down. Like they kind of went the way that he went.
Gary Harris will be back soon too, right?
That I'm not sure about. Denver or Utah? After seeing them in action now, who do you think wins? Because I had Denver going into it. I thought that Utah would be a little undermatched.
They would play the winner of the Mavs Clippers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Both gonna get smacked, either one.
I mean, she's saying who gonna win.
I'm gonna go with Utah. I'll go with the team with more defense. But I
Gobert has been playing well
too,
which surprised me.
Yeah, and like I said, Conley in the bubble, Conley's been nice. He's been playing pretty well, like better than he played during the actual season. So
that's not hard to do because he was terrible.
Right, but at the same time, that bump in play has helped Denver since he's been back. So
I agree.
I'm gonna go with Denver,
and they haven't really been. Bogdanovich.
Oh shit, my computer gonna die.
Yeah, so I'm going with Utah.
Hold on, I'm about to pull a Tim. Y'all keep going. I need to find my charger. Y'all talk about round 2 or something.
Oh, we're supposed to be talking about LA, right? The Clippers in Dallas. Yeah, but like I was getting to before, like that game 4 was epic. Like down the stretch, like Kawhi and Luka just kind of going back and forth, like everybody hitting big shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that Luka was doing that like on a sprained ankle that made him a game time decision. I don't even remember his stats. It was something like 40 plus points, 19 rebounds or something like that, 13 assists. Like he just controlled the game like to a degree that a second year player shouldn't.
It's funny because a lot of people talk about like his change of pace. I used to have a quarterback when I was coaching football, and I kid you not, he was the slowest damn kid on the field, but he had one little juke move, just one little slow ass juke move, and he would get them every time. I'm like, how the fuck are you getting these kids with this slow ass juke? Luka's the same way. It's like, dog, how you get him with this slow ass crossover? But he shook free, he wide open, and that step back is serious, bro. Like when he did that step back on Reggie Jackson, I was like, that's in there. I was like, that's his shot.
Reggie Jackson wasn't necessarily playing bad defense on that play.
They didn't take with Paul George there. It'd have been the same result.
Dang, see that.
Yeah, he spent on both of them in that game. Still cash, but
that's the thing. Like he was giving Kawhi was on him. He bumped Kawhi off, got his shot off. Like PG was on him. He got off on him. Like it didn't matter who LA threw at him. Like they had so many people that should be physically should be able to guard Luka, and like they had no answers for that kid.
Yeah.
At all. Like more like he was abusing Morris.
How tall is Luka?
6'7"?
6'7", I think. 6'7", 6'8".
6'7" big guard. Even though he'll be slower, he can still move and maneuver.
Because I think it was Spencer Dinwiddie on Twitter. I know you're thinking about 2K Bill, but I think it was Spencer Dinwiddie on Twitter who mentioned the fact that it's because he's unpredictable. Like if you do the same move over and over, like I'm going to be able to figure it out. But the way Luka consistently changes his pace and you can't figure out what he's about to do next, makes him very hard to guard, even though he moves so slow.
Which makes a shit ton of sense because if you see the same fastball, eventually you catch up.
If you know the moves, they're going to groove. Yeah, like you just got to get in your bag a little bit.
And I responded to Dinwiddie's tweet, like that's kind of what Giannis's problem is. Like he kind of he'll put his head down and like he'll go to the same move every time. So people just kind of time it. Like as long as you know where he's going, like you can get to the spot, even if he's stronger and faster than you. And like he'll go to the spin move. Like it's kind of like we were talking about on Hard Knocks where the guy was like, you got to change your cadence up. Cause like, if you're doing the same thing every time and I can predict that, oh, this is going to be a run or this is going to be a pass. Like that gives me an edge and I can defend you better.
Yeah.
Whereas, like if you kind of switch it up, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I agree Giannis can still work on that, but he has been diversifying the way
he's gotten better, but yeah,
he's gotten better. Like he still has work to do. But I just want to point out the fact that if you looked at the way he played in 2014, like he really only had the spin move. Like he was just spinning all over the place, like a little top, just spinning. And then he started incorporating that Euro a little bit, but he still needs to diversify his game for sure. But he has put in some work.
Yeah, no, the point that I was getting to is like that's why he gets like so many charges is because they can guess where he's gonna be. Also, like they just fall over like as soon as he's coming down the lane.
As soon as he touches, he's flying all over the place.
But like very often they do get to the spot because they know where he's going.
Yeah,
he's been getting stripped a lot too. Like with those, like even if you get the spoon move off, they still strip him.
A little bit. He's been really good
Yeah, no, I bet he's the best player in the world. Like I'm nitpicking at this point, but I'm just kind of explaining why. Like the Chargers are frustrating, and part of that is just like that's the only defense that they have to guard against them. But anyway, back to the Clippers. Okay. I was talking about Giannis, but yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, no, that was just a great game. The series has been competitive. Like the Mavs 3-point shooting has been unreal, but not to the point where it's like unsustainable. Like it's just like they're getting a bunch of wide open shots again, thanks to Luka. Like although they're playing well with him on the bench too, so it's just
his passes is ridiculous.
And they're actually playing without Porzingis right now too.
Mm-hmm.
And he just be hooping.
Which is like after game 4, I'm like, okay, if Porzingis doesn't get ejected for bullshit reasons in game 1, and if Luka doesn't turn his ankle in game 3, like the 2 games that Dallas lost, like could this have been a sweep?
It could have been.
I know you can't really take it, pull things in and out like that because it's like maybe the Clippers come with a different defensive strategy, but still at the same time, like that's how good Dallas has been this series, where like we're 2 pivotal moments away from it being a 4-0 sweep.
Who you got in the series?
Dallas.
Did you? I can't remember. Did you always have Dallas?
He had Dallas.
Okay.
And I was on the fence, and I'm like, I'm gonna
were
still
saying
go with
you
the
could see it
Clippers.
all, yeah.
But I can see, I'm still of that mind. Like I still think the Clippers figure it out because Paul George has to play better.
Yeah.
Like he can't play much worse.
Pandemic P.
And if
he had to turn off his IG comments. Y'all ruthless on the internet, fam.
He ain't been right since Dame flamed his ass.
He deserved it all. Fuck.
And then you got Austin Rivers out here. Seth Curry out here talking big shit on the court.
Yeah, he definitely called him a BA.
A BAN.
A ban. He's a ban.
That is hilarious.
That's some deep
and
beef.
they got some personal beef.
Yeah. Like if you do my wife wrong, like I kind of gotta hate you on principle.
In case you don't, in case you
even
don't
though
know.
like you kind of like you being a BAN like kind of led to like my daughter being born, but still like.
You want to tell the people what the backstory is with them, just real quick, in case people don't know the Curry, Rivers, George dynamic.
So pretty much, Doc Rivers' daughter and Paul George were dating. Paul George cheated on her, which led to her dating Seth Curry. Seth Curry now plays for Doc Rivers, and they're playing against the Clippers. So when he scored on Paul George, he called him a bitch ass nigga because they had issues. I guess he don't fuck with him like that.
You was close. Seth Curry plays for the Mavericks. Paul George is on the Clippers, but
yeah. So now it's like your ex-girlfriend's. You play for your ex-girlfriend's dad. But her boyfriend giving you buckets on the other team in the playoffs. Her husband. I'm sorry.
There you
giving
go.
You buckets on the other team in the playoffs. It's some wild. That's a wild shit.
I actually want Dallas to win the series. I had the Clippers because I wanted to see the LA Western Conference Finals. But honestly, I just want to keep watching Luka play basketball. So I hope Dallas wins.
Fair enough.
Luka's scary, yo.
Yeah.
That's a bad man. That's a bad man.
Y'all don't want to see Dallas for sure.
Oh, definitely not. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
That'd be so fun though, watching Luka and LeBron.
Luka young, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. The kid is amazing, yo.
Hey,
I hear you.
Let's get into the blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
I'm just waiting for Eric to come back. He reconnecting.
Oh, or is it tap in now?
Huh?
I said, or is it tap in? Blow the whistle or tap in? You ain't heard tap in? I saw. Was it salty? Salty?
I don't listen to new music, fam. Not until it's old.
You've heard tap in. I'm sure you have.
I don't listen to new music until it's old.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
It's by who?
Salty. Ain't that her name, Dooch? Salty? Oh, he on the phone. But yeah, I think it's Salty. SAWATIE. However she spell her name all weird and stuff like that. But yeah, she used the blow the whistle sample.
Oh,
it's
okay.
called tap in.
No, I meant what I said though. It's blow the whistle.
Oh, but by the way, her name's pronounced Sweetie.
Sweetie. Ah, there we go.
Sweeney.
It's so weedy.
Sweetie.
I don't know. But it's
Okay.
like sweet. Anyway.
Blow the whistle. Eric, it's on you, my man.
Yeah, so my blow the whistle is on Fox Sports play-by-play announcer Tom Brenneman. He was caught on a hot mic using a homophobic slur. This was during a Reds game. I guess he's the regional play-by-play announcer for them. He also works Fox Sports NFL coverage. He's on like the B or C team. I don't know which one, but he's a really good announcer. But they got his ass off of the mic like mid-game. Like he does a little sign-off. He's like, I don't know when the next time I'll be or if I'll ever be on another Reds broadcast, but it's been a pleasure, and I'm sorry to the people that I offended, blah, blah, blah. He called it I can't even use the word, the F word. They said he was saying something was the F word, capital of the world. Like, I don't know why those words will ever come out of your mouth anyway, but let alone when you know that you're on a microphone, like, it's stupid. Like, I don't even have anything really to say. Like, that word.
Does that work, though?
Yeah, like, I don't know why that word is kind of like, I don't know why you use that word in your personal life, let alone being at work when your job is talking to a microphone. Like, you should just always assume that mic is hot.
If you were willing to say that when you think a hot mic is off, I can only imagine what you say when you get at home.
Exactly.
You was cool with at work just getting it off like that too. Like at the crib, it's worse at the crib.
Yep.
It's always worse at the crib, but that motherfucker called a home run mid apology too. He's like, yep, and so and so hits a home run, and I said, I really am sorry, man. Like I just truly do. I'm like, it's the sorriest damn sorry. I get it. You truly sympathetic, but that's not the first time you probably said this because it just rolled off the tongue too easy, bro. Like it was just too natural.
Yep, too loose.
When people say shit like that, like you aren't sorry that you said it, you aren't sorry that you offended people, you sorry you got caught.
Yep.
Facts. Yep. Facts.
Every time.
Looking for a couple ha-has.
Right. That being said, we can go into the Tech Top 5 and get on out of here. Last week's Tech Top 5 were top 5 Undertaker matches. Who had list A? I believe that was Tim.
I think I had B. I think list A had Jeff Hardy on it, didn't it?
If that's that one, then Eric won. Whoever had list A was the winner this week.
I think that was me.
Okay. Congrats, Eric, on your win, sir.
Either way, I take it. I'm not like.
Okay. So this week.
Yeah, the Jeff Hardy match was on there, so that's Eric.
Okay. So since this is Mamba Week, our Tech Top 5 this week is going to be top 5 Kobe moments. So, Tim.
Real quick before Tim goes into his list, I just want to say, like, even with all the Mamba Week stuff and it being 7 months later, like, it's still surreal to me. Like, it still doesn't register. Like, Kobe gone. Like, it still don't seem real to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do want to say that Lakers game last night on Kobe Day was wild. It was like 6-man Kobe was up in there because Portland couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing right. Kobe was on the rim just doing like this to them. They couldn't get nothing going.
And the fact that the score was 8-24 at one point,
right?
Like, that was just crazy.
LeBron was sitting here cashing from like 35 plus feet on threes. I said, "Oh yeah, the Lakers ain't losing tonight. They put too much personal pride in this."
Honestly, when I saw they were wearing the Mamba, when I saw they were wearing the Mamba jerseys, I was like, "Oh no, they can't lose today."
Yeah,
they better not.
All right, Tim, let's hear your top 5 Kobe moments.
Number 5, I got when he tore his Achilles and then turned around and hit 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Number 4, when he outscored the Mavs team through 3 quarters, 62-61 by himself. That was some wild shit. Number 3, I have his game winner against the Phoenix Suns. The 99-98 when he took the 3-1 series against Phoenix. It was first round of the 2006 playoffs.
When he
2,
pulled.
That was showing all like
I got hard.
Give him the fitness. Number 2, I got the 81-point game. And number 1, I have his retirement game.
Eric?
That's a good list. Number 5, I'm going to go with that lob to Shaq in the Western Conference Finals against Portland. Like that was like that led to their first title essentially, because that Western Conference Finals was the championship, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that got them over the hump. Like that was just crazy. 4, I'll go with.
Yeah, there's so many good ones to choose from.
It's so many good moments. 4, I'll go with 62 3/4. Like you said, he outscored the entire Mavericks team by itself.
Yep.
3, 3, I'll go with the Achilles free throws. Okay. 2, the 81-point game, and 1, the 60-point finale. Mamba out.
I think we might all have the same number 1. Number 5, I have Kobe dunking on Dwight Howard, because that's just one of still my favorite dunks I've ever seen before. That was a welcome to the league dunk if I've ever seen one before. Jesus. Number 4, I got.
And people wondering why they didn't work out as teammates.
Right. You dunked on me that way, man. We can never be cool. Number 4, I had Kobe don't flinch when Matt Barnes tried to pump the ball in his face, and Kobe just looked at him like a killer. Love that. Number 3, I got the free throws after the torn Achilles, because 1, it kind of symbolized like the last time we saw Kobe at full like Kobe strength. Yeah. And he went out of that phase like a G, not both of them free throws down with a whole torn Achilles. So that's number 3 for me.
And walked off the court.
Yep. On his own. Number 2, I got the 81-point game.
Messi just chose Man City.
Did he really?
Lionel Messi wants Manchester City to be his new club in reunion with Pep.
He was just talking about this. Wow.
All right. He's going to go to PSG.
Number 2, I got Kobe's 81 game. I mean, it's already been talked about. Number 1, I have the retirement game, 60 on the Jazz, the most Kobe-est way possible to go out. So I love that. I don't know where Ken went exactly.
He bowed out like a gentleman.
But
damn, and then Deuce left too, because
like both the Kobe fans is gone.
I get it. It was too much for them. It's emotional.
I feel like it'd be wrong to not get Ken's list. So at some point when we post it, Ken's list will be on there. So we just gonna end the show, I guess.
Right on out.
We're gonna ride on out. So we hope y'all enjoyed the show this week. Make sure that you rate, review, subscribe. Make sure you head to that YouTube, subscribe to that. If you were listening to it and you want to just check out some parts that you heard us mention that sounded like they could be funny on video, just head over to YouTube, watch a little part, keep on. You ain't got to watch the whole thing if you don't want to, but it's an option for you. So make sure you subscribe to that, review us on iTunes, follow us on Spotify, do all that stuff. We need it on every single platform. If you don't follow us on social media, make sure you do that too. And tell a friend about us, because we don't grow without y'all. So if you would like to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, and PSN at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
your mom is fancy.
Thank you, Fake Can.
At Busburner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Goddamn right.
And this your boy. Oh no, this is the intro again. K Harris 216.
On Twitter and Snapchat.
Mm-hmm. Everyday _gentleman. On Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you make all your stuff the same?
I keep telling him that.
He changed his Instagram name and didn't change it to the same thing as the rest of his stuff.
He said it was too long on Twitter, so he couldn't.
Hello.
Wow.
Anywho, Tim, yeah.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. All right, peace out, dog. I ain't got nothing else for you.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Be safe.
Yep.